Every morning is a chance to begin again. A powerful mindset reset. Have you ever woken up with a quiet sense of regret? Not because something catastrophic happened, not because your life is falling apart, but because yesterday didn't look the way you hoped it would. You said you'd start the habit. You said you'd make the call. You said you'd finally believe in yourself. And then, you didn't. Most people think change requires a dramatic breakthrough, a new year, a crisis, a rock-bottom moment. But what if transformation doesn't begin with a breakdown? What if it begins with a morning? What if every single sunrise is life whispering, you get to try again today? We're going to reset something powerful, not your schedule, not your productivity system, but your mindset. Because when your mindset shifts, everything else follows. Let's talk about why every morning is a real, tangible opportunity to begin again, and how to actually use it. 1. The past only has power if you carry it. One of the most misunderstood truths about personal growth is this: your past is not controlling your present. Your interpretation of it is. You wake up, your mind immediately replays yesterday, the awkward moment, the mistake at work, the argument, the workout you skipped, the opportunity you missed. And before your feet even touch the floor, your identity feels defined. I'm bad at this. I always mess things up. I'm behind. I'm not disciplined enough. But here's the powerful truth. Nothing from yesterday physically exists anymore. It survives only as a story in your mind. Every morning, you are not waking up as the person who failed yesterday. You are waking up as a human being with a fresh set of decisions available. The only thing that makes yesterday permanent is your attachment to it. This is why mornings matter. Sleep literally resets parts of your neurological processing. Your brain clears metabolic waste. Your emotional intensity decreases. You wake up physiologically closer to neutral than you were the night before. In other words, your biology supports fresh starts, but your mindset has to agree. If you wake up and immediately replay failure, you drag yesterday into today. If you wake up and say, that was yesterday, today is a new experiment, you create psychological freedom. Freedom is not pretending the past didn't happen. It's deciding it doesn't get to define your next move. Every morning is a line drawn in invisible ink. You get to choose which side you live on. 2. Identity is built in micro choices. Most people wait to feel motivated before they begin again. That's backwards. Motivation follows evidence, not the other way around. When you wake up and make one small aligned choice, drink water instead of scrolling, step outside for 5 minutes of sunlight, write one paragraph instead of none, your brain records something powerful. I am someone who shows up. Identity isn't built in grand gestures. It's built in repeated micro choices. Think about this carefully. If you improve just 1% each morning, where would you be in a year? If you forgave yourself 1% more each day, how light would you feel? If you spoke to yourself with 1% more compassion, how different would your internal world sound? Morning is the most powerful time for these micro shifts because your mental script hasn't fully activated yet. When you reach for your phone immediately, you borrow someone else's agenda. When you pause, even for 60 seconds, you reclaim authorship. You don't need a 2-hour routine. You don't need perfection. You don't need to suddenly become a new person overnight. You need one decision that says, today, I begin again. That's it. And when you repeat that decision enough times, something extraordinary happens. You stop trying to change your life. You start becoming someone new. 3. Let go of the myth of too late. There's a quiet fear that sabotages more dreams than failure ever could. It's the belief that you're behind your peers, behind your potential, behind where you should be by now. And so mornings start with pressure instead of possibility. I have to catch up. I wasted too much time. I should be further. But pressure doesn't create sustainable growth. It creates anxiety. Here's the truth: most people don't realize the timeline in your head is imaginary. Life is not a synchronized race. It's an individual unfolding. There are people who found purpose at 20, others at 40, others at 70. There are people who rebuilt after divorce, bankruptcy, illness, heartbreak, and their most meaningful chapters came after what they thought was the end. Every morning you wake up, you are not late, you are alive. And as long as you are alive, you are in motion. The sun does not rise thinking, I should have come up earlier. It simply rises. Your job is not to outrun yesterday. Your job is to show up today. When you release the myth of too late, mornings become lighter. They become invitations instead of judgments. You don't need to fix your whole life today. You just need to take one step forward. 4. Emotional reset is a skill, not a personality trait. Some people seem naturally resilient. They bounce back quickly. They move forward with ease. It's tempting to believe that's personality, but emotional reset is a skill. And like any skill, it can be practiced. Every morning gives you the training ground. Before reacting to the day, ask, what energy do I want to bring into today? Not what mood are you in, not what problems are waiting, but what energy do you choose? Calm, focused, curious, disciplined, grateful. You might not feel it instantly, and that's okay. The act of choosing begins rewiring. When you breathe slowly for 2 minutes, you regulate your nervous system. When you move your body, you change your chemistry. When you speak a clear intention out loud, you direct attention. Your brain follows attention. If every morning begins with worry, your brain scans for threats. If it begins with intention, your brain scans for alignment. Over time, this compounds. The person who resets emotionally each morning doesn't avoid hard days. They simply don't carry yesterday's emotional weight into today's decisions. And that's powerful, because clarity creates better choices. Better choices create better outcomes. Better outcomes reinforce a stronger identity. All starting from a morning reset. 5. You are allowed to reinvent yourself. Quietly, one of the most freeing realizations in adulthood is this. You don't need permission to change. You don't need an announcement. You don't need validation. You don't need to explain. Every morning, you can wake up and decide, I'm done reacting like that. I'm done speaking to myself that way. I'm done postponing my growth. Reinvention doesn't require drama. It requires consistency. The world may not notice your new mindset immediately. That's okay. What matters is that you notice the moment you stop identifying as the anxious one, the procrastinator, the one who always quits, and instead begin identifying as the one who tries again. Everything shifts. And the beautiful part, you can make that shift tomorrow morning or right now. A simple morning reset practice. Let's make this practical. Tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, try this. Take 3 slow breaths. Say in your mind or out loud, today, I begin again. Choose one small action that aligns with the person you want to become. Do it immediately. That's it. No overwhelm, no pressure, no perfection. Just one aligned move. And then repeat the next day. Closing reflection. You are not your worst day. You are not your missed opportunities. You are not your past version. You are a living, breathing human being with the rare privilege of waking up. And waking up means possibility. Every morning is quiet proof that life hasn't given up on you. So don't give up on yourself. If this message resonated with you, take a moment right now and reflect. What will tomorrow morning represent for you? Repetition or renewal? If you're ready to choose renewal, stay connected with Awaken Mindset. This channel exists to remind you of what you're capable of, not in theory, but in daily practice. Subscribe if you want more powerful mindset resets like this. Share this with someone who needs a fresh start. And in the comments, tell us one small action you'll take tomorrow morning to begin again. Because transformation doesn't start someday. It starts when you wake up and decide. And tomorrow morning, you get another chance.